Charts here. Let's see how many we can get to. It's my favorite subject, right? Astrology. Are we going to record this? Oh, you just started.
I
Okay.
just started.
So, hi everyone. I'm Sandy Rueve. I am the astrologer. I am the creator of Intention Beads. This is my daughter, Alexandra. Um, and she's the one that got me into astrology. It is a long story. I'll save you. I'll keep it for the Tuscan Hills when we get there one day. And I really, I run retreats. I run retreats probably for 9 years. It's one of my favorite things I do because I like to take people away, not domestic, away into a foreign country in order to kind of step away from everything that you are, um, you know, connected to, and listening to different languages and seeing different uh, traditions and just the smell, the aura, just it's magical wherever we can go. And so, I'm going to introduce this Florence or Tuscany. We are going to spend a day in Florence. Um, but I really curate, that's a big word here in our room here, is a really a magical time. I'm a Pisces. I love magic. I love astrology. I love to look into, I used to be in radiology, and so I used to look to see using X-ray, the unknown energy to see inside the body. And so at some point, and about 30 years later, I got introduced to astrology. Oh, to see unseen energy and look inside the body. And so I've been on this path for my whole life. So we're going to just go into the little slideshow that Alex put together, but I'm going to maybe get inspired to pop and throw. Well, I have to change screens, so maybe
We can.
pop we pop in and out throughout our hour. We just have an hour here, and I'm open for questions. I'm open for questions for the retreat specifically. If if you see a chart that goes up that is your chart, um, please hold on questions for that because that will take up time, and I'm just going to be throwing some information at you. Alex, I can't see this whole. Oh, that's my screen, I guess, that I can't see the whole thing, but that's me. That's me. Okay, good. Here we go.
Correct.
So again, welcome everyone. We've never done this. I've always been able to, put my retreat together and send it out and fill it up. And this one, though, teaching past lives is different. I've never taught this. I just finished my 4-month program a year ago with my mentor in Serbia. And so there's just a few of us and a handful of people that can do this work in the United States. So welcome to Tuscany, Italy, 2025 retreat. The dates are October 4 through 11th. That's a Saturday, October 4 through Saturday, the 11th, this year, of course. And so we're going to peek into this magical moment of where we're headed. So this is literally the castle we're staying at. This is the grounds. This is the place. And, of course, we're talking about Italian cuisine. And so there's our olive gardens here on the property, and vineyards and wine gardens here. So, I was here 18, almost 19 years ago when I was there with my astrologer. Um, and there was a conference. It wasn't a retreat. It was a conference there. And so I had never been to Italy, and I signed up, was magical. And so about a year ago, I decided, you know what? I want to go back to Monte Gufani, and that's the name of the castle. It's Monte Gufani, and this is me there last October. I wanted to go exactly the same dates that I had um, um, scheduled the retreat, so I could see exactly what the temperature was going to be like, the gardens were going to be like. Where this is our garden. We're going to be in the courtyard. Our apartments are all kind of in one area of the castle. Now, the castle's huge. It's a castle, and there are about 30 apartments. And anybody that worked at the apartment or worked at the castle, this is back in the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, 1900s. This was built in early 1200. Then it was burned, and it got taken down to the ground, and it was rebuilt in the 1300s. So this is a very old 700-year-old castle. And when I went back, this picture here, when I went back and wanted to stay there for a few nights again and take some photos and get reacquainted, and I said, "Oh, I'm back here. I was here, 15 or excuse me, 19 years ago. I want to make sure it hasn't changed." And she laughed at me, and in my terrible Italian uh, English language, she goes, "Sandy, nothing has changed in 700 years. Why would you think that something has changed in 19?" So yeah, she got a big laugh out of at that. But I really wanted to grab some photos. What we're looking at in this, in all these videos you've probably been seeing as we have been really um, exponentially sending this out. I really want to, I'm looking for a few more people to go on this magical journey. So, this is literally what it looks like. If you're craving more than a vacation, right? To go on a transformational experience, very soulful. Actually, we're talking soul mission here. So talk about soulful. How soulful can you get? If we're talking about past life, soul mission, current life, soul mission. So if you feel drawn to sacred experiences, and again, all my retreats have an astrological connection to them. They all do. It's usually whatever's going on in the sky. I've taught Venus star points. I have taught Jupiter in Pisces, where that is in your chart and how that can help you personally develop throughout your life. We are in this life period right now where we do have a chance to put our day-to-day on hold and go somewhere with women that are also soul searchers, right? Discoverers of their own lives, right? So if you're curious about past lives and the stories that your soul still carries, trust me, your soul still carries. And in class, now I'm not on this retreat, we can go past, which I have not done mine, 72 lives prior to the one I'm living, and 72 lives in the future. I don't know why we would really need to do all that, and that would take hours and hours and days and weeks. But what is interesting for me through this work is looking at our current natal chart right now and looking back to see what our past life mission, the last life we just had, what was our mission, and how that aligns with our current soul mission. We also will look at the guardian angels. There are 72 guardian angels, and this is not made up by my mentor, my instructor, that there are 72 guardian angels, and you have one from a past life, you have one from a current life. And we've heard about guardian angels, or at least I have growing up. And I always thought it was like Gabriel or Michael or Raphael. None of them are in this book called The Pillars of Consciousness, the Astrology of the Angels. But you have to know how to find them in your natal chart. So, if you want to connect with kindred spirits on a shared spiritual journey, this is it. I have return attendees, and they all become friends. Right. And I went out to dinner with two of them last night that went with me to Greece last year and Egypt with me last year. And so we're still in the WhatsApp groups. I do form a WhatsApp group before we arrive. So we're all chitty-chatting amongst ourselves before we even pack our bags. So, hey, if you feel like your guardian angel is like whispering in your ear. Um, she is, he is. Are they nudging you to tell you something? So again, astrology, past soul missions and guardian angels, past soul missions, current soul mission, past guardian angel, current soul guardian angel. And like Confucius says, study the past if you would define the future, right? Look to the back to see the future. Now, I will say that, I'm guessing that I do believe in reincarnation 100%. Not everyone in my family does. And I would expect or feel the kind of requirement that you do believe in a reincarnation so that you can really understand and grab the information that is being delivered to you in a lot of packets that I'm going to be sending out. We're going to have several days of class time. We're going to have 2 days of fun time, and all the other times between classes will also be fun. We're going to be spending one whole day in Florence. Yeah. We're going to have an optional Vespa tour. Yeah, this I can't wait for this. We're going to have our helmets. We're going to have our guide, and we're going to, it's like a 21 mile through the Tuscan country Chianti villages. We stop for lunch somewhere, which is all included in this, and um, wine tasting, and then get back on the Vespa and make our way back to the castle. Just sounds like funny. I just feel like I'm going to laugh the whole time. Um, and so when we go to the Florence for the day, we're going to get our transportation up there. We're going to go on a 2 hour walking tour through the hidden gems of the Medicis and where Da Vinci and, all of the Ferragamo. This is where he was doing his shoes. And so we're going to get a walking tour there. Then I treat for a beautiful place for lunch that I've been to, that I scouted for you all. And then we're going to spend the afternoon at the Uffizi Museum. There we're going to see the Primavera, and if you're familiar with the Primavera, which is a painting, a masterpiece by Sandro Botticelli, that actual masterpiece was hidden in the castle Monteguffani that we're staying in, and it was never found, which is why it's hanging on the wall. And so there's a lot of history, a lot of history. In fact, the Minutemen showed up. In fact, I've got pictures. It's so funny. I bought this book when I was there, and of course, it's in Italian. And I'm like, oh no, no, I'll take the English one. And they're like, Sandy, we didn't know. It's just Italian. Why would we do an English one? We didn't do a German one. And I was like, okay. So I literally have to take a picture of this with my phone and put it from English to Italian so I can read this. It's and I want to show you one picture that look at this picture. And the this is the pool. And people were swimming in the pool in October. So bring your suits. Okay, let's see what's next. What do we got next? Because I want to start doing charts. So yeah, what's your soul mission? It can be very clear. But when we're born again, do we remember? We have the memory of what maybe we did, but we just have the memory, right? Because water holds memory. We may not know what we did. May not know the fire of our actions that we took in a past life, but we will always remember the memory will kind of be coming back up. And if there was trauma, which come on, we all had, not all of us had a smooth past life. So discover the stories your soul has lived in the guardian still whispering to you today. So throughout deep exploration for your astrological chart, you'll gain insights into your past, present, soul mission, as well as your guardian angels. I would keep repeating that because that's what we're going to do. I don't know. Is that you over there? Somebody? Is that somebody standing there that's here today? So what's included? What's included? There's 2 meals a day. breakfast and dinner. Each of the rooms, each of the apartments have their own kitchenette. So it's a, it's a propane stove, it's a sink, it's a refrigerator with all of the glasses and pots and pans. And
It
so I thought,
reminds me, sorry to
oh,
interrupt, but it reminds me of the dolce fagnette. Does anyone remember that from Eat, Pray,
yeah.
Love? That like moment that she like got the asparagus and she like went to the market and she just like made this beautiful meal just for herself and she put on her cute little outfit. Anyway, I just wanted to the dolce
No, it
fagnette.
does. It's the simple life of getting a loaf of bread and a hunk of cheese and some pasta and the wine that was just made last week. And we come together maybe in the garden and we just share a meal for lunch. But the breakfast and dinner will be prepared for us at the castle. Lodging, this is the entire, all the lodging is included in staying in the castle. And again, these are apartments. Everyone will have their own bedroom. Um, uh, there'll be shared bathrooms. The ones that have their own bathroom, their own living space, their own bedroom are already booked. Those have been filled. And my room, and I'll show you it in a little bit, is in a 4 bedroom, 2-story part of the castle, which we will share. There's 2 bathrooms there that 4 people will share. So that's bathroom, but everybody gets their own bedroom. So that's a private. So the astrology workshops, we'll be doing a lot of that, teaching and handing out uh, your personal work. The talisman, of course, I'm a talisman maker. You will be making your own talisman. I will be bringing my different millefiori art. It's so interesting. Millefiori Montigufani. Uh, um, um, my clay, so that I've chosen a day for us to magically put a intention into our talisman. So we'll be doing that in a ritual. The day trip to Florence I mentioned, and of course, the Uffizi Museum and the walking tour to Florence. What it doesn't include are your flights or this shuttle service to and from the castle. However, I help you with that. I've got a shuttle service or a car service or a van service or a bus service on call to see if there's, 3 or 4 people coming in at a certain time. You would fly into Pisa. Pisa is the international airport. The castle is about an hour, 10 minutes away from Pisa. Um, so I would help coordinate so that you're not like, where do I go? Who picks me up? How am I going to get there? I coordinate that with you. I help you, but that's at your cost. The optional Vespa tour, I didn't include that in the cost of the retreat because I didn't know if anybody didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to include that cost. So, of course, if you're drinking wine or limoncellos, that you're on that your own there, or any soda drinks or anything like that. Travel insurance, I always suggest travel insurance, especially these days. Tips and gratuities are not included. Um, so, but everything else is. So these are some pictures. Yeah, well, here's some pictures of past retreats. This is my group in Egypt, Bali. We've been to, I don't know, 7 times. I am heading back to Egypt next year in September. That is my only retreat I think I'm going to do next year. Um, I've done Mexico 9 times. That Mexico is the group when we taught Mars. That's why we're wearing red. The Greece retreat, this is on Margos Island, Agialis. I've been there 3 times. This is the group picture at closing ceremony. And so these are just places that I've gone because I want to go. I want to go. So I say, hey, who wants to go with me? Um, and then these are just some comments of people that have, toured with me, went with me, and some of these people have gone like this Anna. I think she's been on 8 retreats with me. So they're returning people, women that continue to follow their astrology, because each time there's no two retreats alike, no two retreats alike. In fact, if anything, you know, if I run another past life retreat, maybe we'll talk about our future life and how we can help with this. Oh, Stephanie's here. Hey, Stephanie, just went to Mexico with me. Um, so so you can read these. These are on the website. This is on the our intentionbeads.com when you get pushed over to the We Travel page. But you know, they're just beautiful comments of what the women experienced, you know, and sometimes when you get back home, you just go on to your next thing. But they really sat and commented. So you'll have a chance to read that. So where are we now, Alex? Is it time to quick do a chart?
Sure, sure. I'll just stop the share real quick and then I'll pop this back on when you're done.
Let's do a chart. Now, of course, I don't have your names on the chart, so I'm not going to say whose name it is, but this person is present. I will tell you that right now. I know
And they
who's.
have a birthday on January 5th, if that's your birthday.
So if this is your information, I'll just call you West Allis, Wisconsin. So this is your chart, and this would be your birth chart. This is what we would see. Um, if any astrologer looked at this, this is, you know, you'd see your sun in Capricorn, your moon in Pisces, and your rising sign is Capricorn. However, we're not doing that. I've pre-done some of these charts. So I'm gonna just start throwing things out. Um, so now, were you a male or female? That's another thing we're gonna hit, your gender. We look at your 12th house. 12th house will give us your gender. You were a male in a past life. So this is a Capricorn. We know Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is over here in Leo at 0 degrees. It's also retrograde. So we have to look at that the sun, or that this Saturn is literally working, it's moving toward, the Saturn is moving toward the Earth. And I won't have time to get into all these things. We can when we get to Tuscany, and we have way more time. This Saturn is moving to the Earth, and it has this feeling of your future life is working through you also right now. So things you're doing, skills you're learning, good deeds, you know, we know karma. Things you're doing now get portrayed into your future life. Even though I'm not teaching future life, I'm just wanting to say that for you right now. So this is like karmic business that you'll complete in the next life. So that kind of tells you that your mission that you're doing now will be followed through into the next life. That's pretty cool to know. I know that in doing all of my work in my 4-month study, I'm also doing my soul mission work in next life. So that kind of gives me like I don't know, kind of catches me right here thinking that um, it's beautiful. It's a continuation. All right. Um, let's go to, so you were a male because not only because it was Capricorn ruled by Saturn, but Saturn is also making a opposition to your Mercury. So this is saying that you had a brilliant, in a past life, I'm still talking past life now. That was one little future thing. In a past life, you had a brilliant mind. Brilliant. You were actually sought out, very important. In fact, you got the sun in the 12th house. This person had a very prominent position in the field of whatever he at this time was doing. A dominant personality. You were authoritative, you were ambitious, and you were very disciplined. However, the opposition to the Saturn can tell you that you may have been appointed. It may have been a position that you did not volunteer for or that you did not try out for, and that you were sought out. Now, I don't want to ask this person because I don't want them to nod or say anything because they may not want anyone to know who this is. Um, So there was something about you having to do someone else's work. You were had to follow the leader, right? You had to, it was your brilliance that this person sought out as you were an important player, but you were feeding them information. Now, when we go to the fifth house is the first house, would be the ascendant of our past life. And I see that you have Mercury there. You also have Mars in the sign of communication, right? So what rules Gemini? Mercury. So interesting that we've already pointed out Mercury being your knowledge, your intuition, your intelligence was very progressive. It was very brilliant, very unique. You had a different way of seeing things, of perceiving things. But this tells me that you were in possibly the war. This is Mars. So there was some sort of, were you a scribe? Were you a writer of, were you a messenger from battle to battle? Was there something that were you a negotiator? Did you write what the general or king was saying? Um, you could also have been a spy. That I'm getting goosebumps on this. Maybe I can talk to this person later on. Something about you had hidden information. You walked both sides. You walked both sides of this negotiating. You were like the middleman. Of course, we talk about Mercury in the first house. Mercury is the psychopomp. Mercury is the messenger, and he can go from upper world to lower world. And so this kind of was like you were the message carrier but you were very important. Um, so let's go to the North Node. So North Node up here at the top, very 20 degrees North Node. Again, it looks like the headset. It's where you're headed in this life. It's your soul mission in this life. It's exactly at 20 Scorpio, right on your midheaven of your career path. So there's something in this life that you brought from last life that had some intelligence. In fact, this Mars rules the Scorpio. So you're doing something similar, I would say, in this life. So the willpower, you know, North Node being right on an angle is very prominent in this life. So it's like the willpower to achieve. Like you have this like determination that is like I don't want to say it burns within you, but it's so structured within you on a deep intensity level that there's something that you need to write, you need to speak, you need to create, you need to do something from deep within the core mission of a past life. So it seems that you're doing something from a past life to the current life to the future life, which is very interesting because me too. And that gives me some sort of, my personal, so I'm going to keep doing, even though my family rolls I mean, love my family, very traditional, love my family, but they're astrologer. You make beads for magic, talisman. I'm like, yeah, that's what I do. The family, that's what I do. So it's kind of like, why don't you follow the traditional rules? I'm like, nope, um, I'm not supposed to. So that's a little bit. What more do I want to say? Oh, your next. So this life, this current life, you're a pioneer. You're building new things. You got to be brave. There's some courage. You need to pull up your bootstraps, be brave, and create like new ideas. And it's almost like you're gifted. You're gifted something brilliant. But you've got to take the initiative because your Jupiter is in Aries and you need to be that pioneer. You got to start something if you haven't already. If you haven't already. I have a affirmation for this person. I lead with wisdom. I honor connection over status. My heart is open. So again, it's a really quick, blah, 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 really quick. We will spend way more time, and actually all of that will be done over a whole day and a half period. So you'll be getting more pieces of the puzzle. Again, I'm just doing this as a, you know, a complimentary thing. All right. Should we let's go to two quick? Are we good to do another?
Yeah, I did just get a question. Is Sandy scheduling past life, current life, future life readings? And is there a way to schedule one?
Interesting, because I am going to do that. Yes, because it is one of my techniques that I use. It's not on my website now. I want to get to the other side of the retreat because I want to hear the stories of the women that are going. And when we get into a meditation and I send you out into the grounds, into the gardens with your journal, and I've given you a little bit of what ifs. What if you were a male? What if you were a negotiator? What if you were a brilliant mind and scribe? What would go somewhere? Go write about it. And so then we come back and we have discussion on, what it is that you pulled in and embodied in that time period. So I want to hear that. And then when I get back in late October and early November, it'll be up on my website and it'll be sessions. It's just not a one-off. It'll be 3 to 4 sessions that you'll be able to sign up for because it's a lot of information. It's a lot of study. It's a lot of study. And it's looking at your natal chart is a completely different way. Completely different way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and my teacher, I mean, some of his books that he's written like 40 books. He's a brilliant man. I was just with him. Alexander is Mesmerak, and he's been a brilliant astrologer. He lives in Serbia. And he knows I'm doing this retreat, and I actually have his ear to some of your charts. Those ladies that are going, I got his ear to the chart work. All right, let's go to this chart. Newport, come on with you, Newport. Here you are. Let's see. Let me go to this. I don't know I haven't seen this lady here, but she'll get the recording. All right, so we're looking at her chart, and we see, so I'm going to be teaching a little bit different versions so we see the moon, we see her moon, and we look at the last conjunction that the moon made before the birth. So we look back and we see the moon's last conjunction was Jupiter. So we already know that this lady has had really a very nice, probably long life. Because hey, we know that Jupiter is the benefic, he's the greater benefic, and it looked like her life was easy. Her past life was easy. And that is one thing that my mentor, Alexander, talks about was your past. You just want to know, if you want to know one thing at all, you want to know, is your past life, was it easy? Was it easy? Because if it was challenging and hard, then we got to dive in even further to see what was the trauma, what was the challenge, and how do we heal that in this life to heal our past life, right? That sounds crazy. We can heal future life. We can heal past life. We can heal ancestry. We've heard that we can. We can. I know it sounds a little odd, but this person's past life was very easy. Now, this life, the next aspect that the moon makes, we're not talking about the North Node here. The next aspect that the moon makes is Mars. Now we know that Mars is a malefic. So it could be this life is a little bit more trying. So it could be where her soul's going, hey, you had an easy life last time. We're going to come into this life and be a little bit more, we have to be active. We have to push. We have to move forward. We have to activate. And we see that Mars is in the sign of Cancer. And so there's this feeling of and it's in the 7th house. So it's the third house from the fifth. So again, we do derivative houses for this, and you don't have to understand that. And I'm not going to teach that. Just believe me. So the things that she said in a past life, she has to say again this time, but it's way harder this time. It's a little bit harder for her to get her message out. But if you coordinate with the right seventh house partnerships, your collaboratives, you're working in the right kind of tribal unit, Cancerian, you can get your message out. This person, let's go here. How do we tell if it's the gender? We go to the 12th house. This is Sagittarius. We go to, so Sagittarius is a masculine sign, but we have to go further. We go, what rules Sagittarius? Jupiter. Jupiter, of course, rules Sagittarius. That's the masculine, but it's in a feminine sign. It's in a feminine sign. Now we have to go to the ruler of Taurus, which is Venus. So Venus is in a feminine sign. So this was a female. This was a female in a past life. And she's a female in this life because it's a she. So we say, right, look at my notes now. So interesting. Okay, so this person, so let's add on. We can add on. We see the south node, past life. What are we holding on to? It looks like a cup, right? So it's things that we're holding on to. It's like, what's in my cup? That if this is where we're headed. Did I make you thirsty, Elaine? By holding up the water glass. I'm watching you, Elaine. So the North Node is where we're headed. This is where we've come from. So this person is living, I'm getting goosebumps all the way down my legs. This person's living her past life. So because it was easy for her last time, did she get her message across? Maybe not. Maybe she has to be a little bit more forceful in this life, right? Oh, so then we see, so let's cross this off for a second. I'm going to clear this up. So we see that her, that Jupiter is making a pretty, it's kind of wide, it's 6 degrees, a 6-degree square to Saturn with reception, right? In Pisces. So this can say that yes, she had an easy life, but she needed to adhere to a work structure. She had to, maybe had to build a work structure, or she had a job, like a fifth house. She could have been a this to me also looks like I didn't do all of that work here. Let's see, where's my Mercury? Yeah, Mercury's up there. Could have been like a organizer, some sort of like, could have been a writer, could have been a teacher, could have been was teaching something. And she had to adhere to a structure. So she couldn't do whatever it is she wanted to do, but she had an easy life. But this life is, and I don't know if this person is here because I can't see all the pictures of your faces. But that kind of gets a little bit of a little territory of where we're going to be heading. You want to go back to your charts, Alec, or your films, and then we'll go to,
Sure.
because I've got lots of charts here, but I know we may not have all the time in the world, but it's my language, so I could stay longer in
So
case your chart is up.
how about I'll pop back up on the Italy retreat slides, and then you can do a couple bonus ones at the end.
If anybody has any questions, I want to comment too about it's like this circle of confusion that we all feel like we're in. I mean, I don't even know what to, like, I don't even really know if I need to bring it to our attention, because we're living in this like, huh, what, where, like, right? And it's like, how do we plan ahead? And again, how do we plan so far in the future, which is when I was planning all this, right? When we don't know really what we can count on, right? And so, we're getting closer and closer, and it's kind of like we're now feel like we're in some sort of like, oh, in a wave. So, we got the tsunami out there, and just the Earth's going to do its thing, but we individually have to do our thing. We have to live, we have to smile, we have to love, we have to we have to share. We some people might feel lack. It's like, oh, I'm going to hold on to my things only, and I'm just going to stay right home and not do anything. And it's kind of like tithing, right? When we go to a spiritual center or service, it's like when you give, you receive, right? It's just really interesting. And I wanted to say that because usually I'm out here talking about my retreats that I'm doing, but this is such a bizarre one, right? Past lives. I think it's interesting. Is So you're here because you want to be here. All right, Alex, you're on. Oh, shush.
Okay. Well, I guess I can discuss a little bit here. So, retreat details, it's October 4th through the 11th. It's a week of castle living. So it's going to be this right here, this main picture is none other than the classroom we will be in. So just the amazing scape. And then these doors walk out to that beautiful, like kind of almost like a labyrinth garden with all of those beautiful like bushes that are perfectly maintained. And here, those bushes right there. Here's the pool. Like the outdoor is as beautiful as the indoor. This castle has been around for centuries and has been a really beautiful container of art, of history, of and has really protected it over the years. So overall, like this is us going into a space where we can really feel protected and maintain that human artistry that we are living day to day. So of course, if you want to learn more, grab your phone, scan the code here, and you'll see the itinerary. You'll see the room options. You're going to see also a link if you wanted to book a free retreat call with Sandy, and also reserve your deposit. This is coming up in October, and we're super excited to welcome a couple more of you. So of course, if this doesn't necessarily feel like a perfect time for you, if you do have any friends, please share this because this is an unforgettable trip and we would really love to share this with as many people as we can. I'll let you take well, I can also take this slide, even though it's contacting you. Of course, here's Sandy's email if you need to. But if you feel the call, trust it. Your soul already knows the way. We know that these pictures, these beautiful escapes that we will be a part of in Tuscany is just going to be like a
That's
moment for our
that's from
soul.
my camera roll. I took those.
She did take these. If you do have any questions that you just want to like get some more details on the retreat, this QR code will send you to that free call to have with Sandy. And anyone that books that free retreat call with Sandy gets a very special discount towards the retreat. So we would love to have you. It's going to be a spectacular trip.
Come on, come on. Yeah. And I always wear anytime, which is pretty much all the time, I'm always working on my retreats, whether it's a year from now or like I'm already working on Egypt. I always wear my talisman I made for my retreats 9 years ago. My talisman that says, I gather the perfect group for an international quest. And whatever we need to learn, the right people show up, they learn. Friends are friends of friends of friends. I think if one or two of you are here that are going, that have been with me on a retreat. But actually, this is a kind of a retreat where I'm inviting new people are coming with me. So that's really exciting. So to be traveling with, new souls. And just think how many souls have passed through these grounds in these rooms. It's just amazing. Yeah. In fact, that classroom that you saw, anyone that is, I'm staying upstairs. There's 4 bedrooms upstairs. I have 3 bedrooms up there still available. That will be our like living room and our hangout room. Yeah. Yeah. That's where we'll be hanging out. Yeah. Hmm.
And all of the rooms are equally beautiful. It's a castle, so it doesn't look like cookie cutter, hotel rooms or by any means. And some are like the cardinale, which is like where the cardinal stayed. So the history is so rich there. I have not been. Sandy has been twice, and then the first time was her first astrology retreat ever. And so we're kind of closing a loop here and maybe starting one back up, closing with past lives, opening back up with those future ones. So I'll jump to the last page and just say thank you so much for watching. Of course, our spots are limited. We make sure that our retreats are as small as possible, where we can really be there together and give personalized information, reports, because we do all of those reports before we go. So if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach me at info@intentionbeads.com. Also, if you are on the email list, then you will be notified when Sandy's past life readings are going to be available as an offer. So make sure you're on the list as well.
Does
So
anyone have questions
yeah,
that we can answer that I can answer?
you can go ahead and unmute yourself, I believe.
And if not, we can go on to the next thing. Okay.
One question.
Susan.
I'm raising my hand. Hello there.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi. Hi, Susan.
Good to see you all. This is great. Oh my God. And that classroom, oh my God, that's my style.
It is so your style.
Absolutely perfect. So here's, and I didn't look at the itinerary because I'm just, scoping this out now, but I'm assuming the day is kind of planned, question mark, where there's like, we all eat together or we can eat private breakfast or, I just like how much fluidity is there? And is there, a couple hours a day that we have our own private time or we're
There
not?
is, we call that yo-yo. You're on your own. So there's yo-yo time. And
Okay.
I do provide an itinerary in advance at opening ceremony. And, I always go heavy classroom. So we arrive on Saturday, we'll have our dinner and then sleep. And then Sunday morning, we'll do opening ceremony. We'll do breakfast, opening ceremony. And yeah, you can take your breakfast that's down in the dining area and you can go up, you could go outside, you could walk around. There's plenty of grounds to go or take it back to your room. So you don't have to eat with the group. Lunch, then I do a classroom. And then for lunch, we're open for lunch. So there's places to walk. I mean, it's a walk, right? But it's cool. It's a cool
Right.
walk. There's little restaurants, little cafes and tavernas that are nearby, or not but and earlier that I'm going to have a car the first 3 days. So I'll be able to take a group of people to the closest little market and we don't have to haul anything up a hill or anywhere. So that
Like
we
groceries for
can
the little kitchenettes.
for if you need groceries for the little kitchenette, if you want your bottles of wine, if you want your sodas, if you want your pastas, your cheeses, your breads, any of that. So you could put that in your refrigerator because every apartment has a refrigerator. Has it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, you missed that. Okay. So yeah, there's each apartment is different. The rooms I have available is there's one apartment has 3 bedrooms. One of those are taken. So there's 2 bedrooms available there and they share a bathroom and the parlor area and the kitchenette.
There's
Nice.
plenty of space. That
Yeah.
this is not cramped at
But
all.
but Susan, if you might want to go into the LaGuardia
Okay.
that we saw, that you saw, there's 4 rooms up there. I'll be staying in one of those. And then there's a full kitchen in that one because that's where the owner stayed. He wasn't
Okay.
a king, like it's not a king kind of thing, even though it is a castle.
The lord of his castle.
He's the lord of, yeah. And there was several owners, right? And some of it got pushed down to family. I'm still reading on my phone about this book.
Nice.
But we're gonna get a tour of it. The lady's gonna take us on a tour. She goes, I don't normally do that. And I'm like, well, will you please? She said, yes. I was like,
Is there
"Gosh."
time for doing art outside? Florence has a
Yes,
question.
if you bring your own art tools or your paints or your charcoals or whatever, oh my God, you'll have
That
so.
would be awesome.
Oh, you should see the grotto that's made of shells.
All
Oh, wow.
all
I
these
didn't
like
even get a picture of
statues.
it. I didn't have my phone and again, I remember that from the last time. Dinner, Susan, is included. Breakfast and dinner is included. And I don't know what time we eat, but it's European time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's no blue plate 5 a.m. or 5 p.m. that I usually am getting more and more into that.
No, it's more like 7.
Early.
Yeah.
No, it's 7:30 kind of thing. Although I'm not going to do it so super late. I don't want food sitting on our stomachs that late because it's heavy food. I mean, it's delicious food, but come on, it's pastas and sauces and things. So Alex will be reading the comments. I can't see them and talk. I have Mercury in Pisces. I can't read and think at the same time.
Florence says she was in Florence last year. Parents are from Lucca in Tuscany. That's amazing.
Who is?
A homecoming. Florence.
You have family in Lucca? Is that what she said?
Let's see. I can ask her to unmute.
Because Luke, I went right past Lucca. They had a Comic-Con going on down there when I went through there. It was wild.
Hi, I'm here. This is Florence from Florence.
Hello. That's so
My
cool.
parents, I was born here. My mother and father and brother were born in Lucca.
Up.
Yeah, and they came here after World War II. And then I was here. I'm here. So yeah, I went on a retreat not too long ago. They just focused on art. And we spent the whole time in Florence.
Yeah.
And it was we stayed at the villa, I believe it was no, oh gosh, no, it was a villa, but I don't know the name of it anymore.
It's okay.
But it was like off the beaten path, and it was like nuns used to live there, and then the big corporation came in and remade it into a place to stay, and it was beautiful. But what I'm seeing here isn't too shabby.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not owned by a corporation.
Yeah,
They still have the
one,
caretakers and the gardeners out there.
Yes,
And
I mean, oh yeah, just stunning. And I also asked a crazy question, but because I'm a Scorpio and people always talk nasty about us.
no, you're the strongest. You're a 18-degree Scorpio. I'm looking at your chart right now.
Oh, I don't know what degree, but I was born on November 10th. But anyway, I'm always intrigued about reading about me because some of it is so not me, but a lot of that was how I was raised.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, I was raised with a very, disciplined Italian old age father. So he thought differently. But anyway, they always say bad things about us.
No, Scorpio is the strongest. It's the most intense zodiac sign of the whole.
Really?
12. Yeah,
Okay, that's what
you've got some intensity in your power, and I see it. You're born right around noon, so you got it up high in the chart, so it's important.
Oh,
So you might have
so
just
you
given
did get
yourself
that
away.
info. Oh,
If we have
okay.
time, you might see you just gave your birthday away. So when I show
Oh,
it, And it's okay.
Okay.
So let me pop over to do some more charts. Is any other questions about the
And,
retreat?
well, also I have a
Yeah.
couple of your bracelets too.
Oh, you do. Thank you, Florence. Thank you,
Are
Florence.
you from Illinois? Are you from
Yeah, I'm
Illinois?
in Chicago. Uh-huh.
I'm in a suburb of Chicago,
Oh,
Oh, very
well,
cool.
hello. I'm in
Wheeling.
Evanston.
Wheeling,
Oh,
not far.
hi, you're over there. Okay.
Nice to meet the both of you.
Nice to meet
Yeah,
you.
nice
Nice
to
to
meet you
meet you,
too.
Florence. All right. Any other questions? Let's pop in whatever play. Pisa. Pisa. So the Leaning in Tower of Pisa, you know, for those who are in Chicago, I was so excited to fly into Pisa because I was going to be like, wow, that thing. It's like, huh? It's like, what? It's like the one at the Y on TUI is like the exact replica, which I thought it was just like a miniature one. It's, but it was pretty interesting. But it's like, oh, that's what everybody talks about. That's what we read about in the history books. Oh, okay. Um,
So I'm gonna jump in here real quick. Okay, so for anyone that needs to head out, thank you so much for joining us. I'm gonna leave it over to Sandy. She's gonna have some bonus time with you all. And yeah, if there's any specific questions that you have, don't forget to get that free 15-minute call with Sandy, because that is like a great time to ask those specific questions that you might have about the retreat. Otherwise, email me, super simple. Or chat with us on our website. We're very available.
all right, let's do this. Let's pop over to share. And okay, I already did this. Let's move over to another one. Let's go to number 3. Cleveland, step up. So let's look at this. Let's look at male or female. We look at the 12th house cusp. There's no planets in there. Okay. We know what rules Virgo, Mercury. So we already know that Virgo is a feminine sign. So we're like, okay, possibly feminine. We go to the ruler and we see that the ruler is in a feminine sign. And then we look to see any other aspects to the Mercury. We go to the moon because the moon rules the Mercury. And the moon is over here in a feminine sign. So this was a feminine, this was a female in a past life. So let's add a few more things here. No retrograde planets. Please, people, look. No retrograde. You would see RX right here if any of these planets were retrograde. None. So that tells us that what if this native, this soul, does not have to repeat past life stuff? In fact, we go to the last planet that the moon aspect or conjoined way down here, Jupiter. So could have been a very easy, again, was this past life soul mission easy? Yes. Yes. What is it in this life? Moon's next aspect is to Uranus. This person needs to be independent, needs to do things on her own. Now, I know who this is. And this is in Gemini. So there's something about using her mind, her hands, her shoulders, her wrists, her elbows, using both, this upper part of her shoulders and her hands. There's like a mind thing here going on. She needs really to be, if we want to use the strong word rebellious of some sort, really kind of being a rebel of not conforming to what life has put in front of her. So, could have been what her family was. She was, everybody's doing this and she's doing that. Everybody's doing this and she's going over here. But that's her soul, right? We're talking about soul mission. We are just the body and bones and, eyeballs to the soul that has to express in a certain way throughout this life, right? So that's a little bit here. So there's no need to complete or repeat a past life mission. Isn't that interesting? So we would dive into more information down the road, but I'm trying to pop around here and get to, let's go to 4. Where's 4? So, okay, you kind of gave yourself away, but if anybody noticed, there's, if you're still here, this chart, I wanted to do guardian angel. So I've done guardian angel on this chart. So again, I'm not going to really get into, we look at we look at your rising sign, your current life rising sign. And we know that you're an 8-degree Aquarius. So this is, we have to look at the pantids, which are every 5 degrees. So we would look from 5 degrees to 10 degrees of Aquarius. And so your current guardian angel is Ilhil, Ihil. It's spelled Ihel. And he's the 62nd guardian angel of the 72. And so in this life, your guardian angel is just waiting for you to ask. Like, this helps you have the desire to learn, this to develop a humble yet gentle nature, properly to metabolize experiences. So to see all experiences and situations as gifts, kind of as seeing a silver lining. If you're that type of person that has like, well, that happened, but this is what I got from it. Like, wow, like more of a optimistic approach to any situations that really would need the 180 perspective, right? So the ability to, so what was I doing here? Oh, so then I went to down here, 5th house. 5th house is the first house of the past life. And yeah, this Uranus is retrograde. So this Uranus in the 5th house is really needing to do a past life. You're really needing to do something about a past life. You're here to bring information of something that maybe you didn't complete in a past life. There's something about finding a code for honesty, right? There's a really, this is like finding the purpose of honesty, finding the thin line to be honest. Happy relationships. This leans towards more philosophical beliefs, maybe wisdom beliefs, maybe some mysticism, maybe some mystic power. So, this could be the art, if you will. Let's go to, and how we find the past life guardian angel is we go to your first solar return chart and look at that. So I did that earlier, a couple days ago, yesterday. Your past life angel is Hekima, spelled Hekamiah. And this is leadership, success in social organizations. It's rubbing shoulders with the important and influential people, where you were constantly loyal. And again, this is your guardian angel that was providing you, should you have asked, right? We learn about guardian angels at least we did in Catholic school. So you're incredibly, we're having this loyalty and devotion, where everything that this angel offered you was truly authentic and sincere. So when the idea here, and we'll go off into the courtyard, whether you're painting or you're picturing now your guardian angel here meeting up with your guardian angel in this current life. And how do these gifts come to crossroad? How do they blend? Right? So here this current life desire to learn, but you were a leader, you had a leadership role in the past life. Your current to develop humble and gentle nature, but you were loyal. You were incredibly loyal. So you're blending these two angels to assist you in this path and helping if there was anything that needs to be. And I don't know if anybody has ever had past life regression, that when you do past life regression, sometimes you're finding maybe not your last life, you're finding one that's just is coming up, but we here are going to our past life. So that's what I have. You were kind of a rebel in a past life also, doing things your own way. The moon is moving to, in this current life, there's something about being very transformational, helping others to transform in a new, different way. So this is your chart. Let's go to fourth, or the fifth chart. Fifth chart here. Seattle, come on, Seattle. This is, what did I do for her? Is she a male or female? Was she a male or female? Did she have, so we got Scorpio here. So Scorpio, we know it's a yin sign, so it's a feminine. We go to what rules Mars. Mars is in a feminine sign. We can go to also Scorpio, Pluto here, and this is in a masculine sign. But we can go to here, Taurus, ruled by Venus. Venus is in the male sign, but this is a female acting out a male role. Now we will see that. I've seen that several times in doing some of my work, is because again, the feminine in past lives didn't have an important role. I mean, come on, we're still trying in the 21st century. So, but oftentimes, the feminine may have dressed as a male or had a male role or needed to be the caretaker or the farmer of the family or the gatherer. And so this is a female that had a role, that played a role as masculine. Okay. So I don't think this person is here right now. Let's go to this one. And I know we should probably, Alex, are you still here? We should probably have some sort of,
Yes, I think this is going to be the last one.
because, I could probably go on. Here we are, Barberton, Ohio. Are you here? I don't know where Barberton is. It's probably got to be north of Cincinnati. All right, I did a lot of work on this one. Okay, let's go to male or female. And I think it's really interesting if I was a man, because I feel a bit masculine, even though all this says feminine. So anyway, I just comment on that. It's interesting to know. This is a Capricorn. We know that Capricorn is a feminine sign ruled by Saturn. Saturn is in the sign of, this is a feminine sign in Virgo. So, and we go to Mercury ruled here, and this is in a feminine sign, and it's co-present with Venus retrograde. So this is a female. It's very much because she's got her part of fortune here that she experienced a very passive life, very self-contained, possibly under some partner's thumb, because this Saturn is in the 7th house of partnerships. So may have needed to, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can understand maybe that role that someone played. So we go over to the 5th house, because that 5th house is the first house in a past life. We know. So here's this. Here again is Mercury. Mercury rules. There's no planets here, so that doesn't help me. It doesn't give me any significators to discuss. But we go up to Mercury and we see Mercury in this whole conglomerate of Scorpio energy. So this is very, this is feminine energy of a past life, but we're looking at the sun sitting in the 8th house. There was something taboo, something that she didn't want others to see, that she was possibly hiding. There was something that was like maybe under the table, or what was she doing? Some magic? Was she doing some sort of magic? Let's see. Oh, this is also telling me she had low self-esteem. Oh, this also tells me she was serving someone else's ego. The sun, and these are all things that we'll get into. Whoops. This is also telling me that something, we see this one opposition. She's really got only one opposition in her chart, and it's the sun to Chiron. This is that a wound about expressing her own needs. So she may have just been in survival mode. And, you know, and we can think that a lot of those times we're survivor. We're in the survivor mode. What else can I say here? Oh, so and this will also reference the last aspect, the moon conjoined. We're not looking at any other Ptolemaic aspects, just the conjoined was Saturn. So her past life was kind of difficult. It's a malefic. Was very hard. There was obstacles that she had to overcome. And the next aspect, which is this current life, is this conjunction with Pluto. She is to try to heal. So I would hope this lady, I don't know if she's here, is a healer in this life, because this immense power that she has had, but she might be fearful, right? She had obstacles in a past life, the soul. So it was like she tried to do something and she was wounded. She was under someone's thumb, possibly her mate. And so she has to be super powerful in this time, having a transformational soul, knowing that she can have the power to do that. And again, anyone that would have like memories of, oh yeah, last time I did that, that didn't go so good, right? Anybody having those thoughts, and where is that? Where is that for us? It's in memory. It's from the 12th house. It's the 12th house. So this person, wise soul, a wise soul carrying some suffering. She's got Venus retrograde. So only planet retrograde. It's very common to get Pluto retrograde, Neptune retrograde, Uranus retrograde, very common. Those three go retrograde every year. So does Saturn and Jupiter. I have 5 retrograde planets. Depending which way the retrograde is heading, is it closer to the Earth or is it closer to the sun? Are you doing it in the future life or are you doing it from a past life? I'm doing both. I've got both, which is why I know I'm carrying the flame. So again, was she a healer, a scribe, a spiritual consultant? I don't know what she does. I don't know this lady. I mean, I don't speak to her. I've never done her chart before, so I can't quantify that. Here's her affirmation. I am here to rise, speak, and shine. My immense power is given through softness and pleasure. So she needs to release something here in this life. She needs to release something. So that just gives us a little bit of, and then you go out into the garden and you like, okay, what is it? I need to release that. Okay. And how do I show my power? Now we see that this young person is born in 1978. So, do the math. She's in her 40s, maybe not even. So there's always time. We're always developing, always, even at my 69 years of age. Right, Shelley? We're always developing, and the fact that we're here and we're interested and we were born at this time. Come on, there's a lot of things we need to get over of fear in our lives in 2020. in 2025, right? There's just a lot of things that we all individually we all came back for this experience. And so let's dive in and discover who and where and what, and there's something called karmic loops. If we have time there's going to be a bonus day on Friday before our closing ceremony for me to do karmic loops. You'll record me saying it because I'll do it on an individual basis. And if you have a relationship, like for instance, I'll share, I have a karmic loop in relationships. So the pendulum, I do this in a relationship and the pendulum comes back, the effect, cause and effect. So the loop, my soul is returning to a karmic loop of relationships. I'm not in a relationship. And, I think I should be. I think I'm like quality, right? We all have something to offer someone, right? So it's this, I'm in a loop. So I need to, now that I know I am, that I don't want to come back the next time and have a intimate relationship karmic loop. So I'm going to work on that this year, work on that this lifetime, So that'll be our bonus day on Friday to look at if there's any things. Is there money situations? Is there family situations? Is there writing, learning, thinking, career, all the houses. We'll go through all the houses in the chart. And that's why when I come back and I'm ready to do this as a offer and sessions, we are going to need 3 or 4 sessions. It's too much in one time period, as you would understand. That's why we need a week in Italy. Wow. Yeah. So, all right, we're going to close out now. Alex, thank you for being here for this long. And for those that know me, I go long. I go for the Hail Mary passes and catch them and hit the touchdown. But then Alex is going, oh, you're overtime. No, you're out of bounds. It doesn't count. So I'm here for
And
final
with that,
comments. Yeah.
and with that, thank you everyone for joining. We greatly appreciate it. If there's any questions, remember to reach out to us. Have a wonderful night, beautiful sleep, and a beautiful tomorrow.
Yep, I'm open for the next couple days for comment or for retreat calls. So I'll see you then. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for being here.